Gentlemen, what is going on? Hope you're all doing well and amazing today. It is your favorite coach, Danny C, coming at you live. Hope you're all having a blessed day and week so far. Already Friday. I mean, time is flying by, already about like mid-February, and hopefully you are tuning in for maybe some inspiration, motivation. But I'm going to talk about kind of my story and how I had adversity, and I know it's going to help you as well because we all go through adversity, whether it is a breakup or something's happening with work or you have an injury or, maybe you gained 30 pounds over the past year. That is adversity in itself. So I'm going to kind of talk about an injury that completely changed my life, changed everything about me. And we're going to go over it. So we'll start the podcast right now. Again, I really do appreciate you showing up. If you are here, hashtag I'm here. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. See some people showing up. I love that. And we'll get this going. We'll get this started. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men's Fat Loss Made Easy podcast, where I'm here to give you the best tips and tricks that you could use on your own fat loss journey. Today, we're going to be talking about how this one injury changed my life forever. And really, this injury, it's crazy because growing up, I was always into sports, and I was about 14, 15 at the time when this happened. I was always into sports. I was always active, and, I was always doing something, and I took it for granted. I really did. And I was healthy. I was fit. But then there was this one day. It was, it was a basketball meeting. It wasn't really a practice. It was actually at my own house, and my AAU basketball team, we were there watching some film, right? We were watching some film on our previous games, what we can be doing better. And I vividly remember we were playing outside, and we actually lowered the basketball hoop. We were playing some basketball. We lowered the basketball hoop because as kids, we want to dunk and we want to have more fun with the hoop lower and all that stuff. So my coach, right, it was funny. We were one-on-one. I actually dunked on my coach. It was like a short hoop. We lowered it all the way down. It wasn't anything crazy. And then we were messing around, and he tried to actually dunk on me. And nothing against my coach. I love him. I still keep up with him to this day. It was just something that happened in God's timing. It just occurred. And so I got hit in the air when I was going up to play defense. And basically my body, if I could grab a pencil here, like my body went from like being to being vertical to being horizontal. And I came down on my kneecap straight onto the concrete, and it into 4 different pieces. I didn't know at the time. I fell, and the adrenaline was just like, also someone like shot a basketball, and it hit my head at the time as well. And it's funny because it's like, looking back all these years, it's like this is the mental moment I needed. I always think of the basketball hitting my head after I fell as like a sign that this is going to be like that light bulb in my life that goes off from this adversity. But that's a whole spiritual different aspect right there. So let me bring you through the story. I fell, and I felt something, interesting. I started to try and walk it off, right? I tried to walk it off, and then eventually I couldn't walk at all. And I was looking at my parents, I was looking at my friends, like I just can't walk right now. Like I'm limping to the stairs and like trying to get help. Went to the hospital immediately. My knee was the size of my quad. It really was. My knee was the size of my quad. And it was painful. It was really painful. And then really immediately we went and got x-rays, and I thought, I'd be out for a couple months. I was devastated. I'd be out for the rest of the AAU season for basketball. I was like petrified. And then she came in, the nurse, and was like, we need to do immediate surgery, or else this will not heal properly. We need to do surgery within the next couple days, and this is going to be a full year recovery at least, usually 1.5 years. And my heart sunk to the floor. Being a young kid, all is basketball, football, going outside, playing with your buddies, recess, whatever. We didn't have recess at that time, but, growing up, and then I'm not going to be active for 1.5 years. Like I didn't even know what to do with myself. I was really struggling mentally. And then, after I got the surgery ASAP and the pain was excruciating. The doctors had me on all sorts of drugs. I went to the ER twice, even though after the injury, I just went back to the hospital because the pain was so devastating. I remember being like on my bed, literally just thinking like, this is my deathbed. And my parents were on both sides of me. Thank God I have them. My dad was on my right side, my mom was on my left side, and I'm holding their hand. I'm just like, God, why me? Because my pain after surgery was just excruciating, something I've never felt before, and it was like rushing throughout my whole body, and it fucking hurt, and it was hard. And my kneecap, it broke in 4 places, just split up. So there was multiple pins and needles holding it together. And when I wasn't drugged up or whatever, like whatever the doctors gave me, they were giving me a bunch of stuff. Like I felt it, right? And I remember like going back to the hospital because I remember I just wanted them to minimize the pain in any way. Whatever they had to give me or whatever they had to put in my body, I was just like, I was, obviously naive at the time. I didn't know like they were giving me drugs and stuff, but the pain was just like so bad and it was excruciating. And it was a hard time, especially that first month of like the injury, because multiple surgeries, went to the hospital multiple times. The pain was excruciating. I was just on my ass, like in bed all day. Went from playing outside 16 hours a day to in bed, cooped up all day, doing nothing. And what does this lead to? Gaining weight, right? I gained 30 pounds. So if you see those pictures of me, being a little bit chunkier and put on some extra fat compared to now, like that's when I was pretty sedentary. And I had this injury because what can I do? I was just like eating and I'm not moving. So eventually I gained that 30 pounds. And I'm going to not lie, gentlemen, like it was hard to just like look at myself. I was always athletic, leaner, toned up growing up. And then I gained 30 pounds and I was ashamed to look in the mirror. I was getting out of breath, doing things I would never get out of breath doing. Going up the stairs, tying my shoes, I would get lightheaded. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? I remember every day after school, like 2:30, 3 o'clock would roll around. I would be so tired and want to sleep for the rest of the day. I'm like, what the hell? Like, where did this come from? I used to be full of energy, but it was the shit food I was having. I wasn't really focused on my diet, having like cafeteria food every day and having the chips and having the fast food with my friends, right? I was also 30 pounds heavier, which definitely didn't help. And I knew I had to change. I was like, this is not me. So that injury led to me gaining all this weight. And I was like, I need to change. And that's how I really started this health and fitness kick. I'm like, what should I do? I want to change. And guess what? I did it. And I did all the things you shouldn't do, right? I tried to do it by myself. I tried the keto diet. I tried the paleo. I tried the Atkins. I tried all these fad diets. I went on all these apps and I was like, let me try some Weight Watchers and, let me follow this influencer. Let me try his workouts, his cookie cutter plan. And I tried all of it and nothing freaking worked. It literally took 5 years to get my shit together with my health and fitness because it was always losing weight, putting it back on, losing weight, putting it back on, like every single few months. And I was like, I'm sick and tired of this. So I actually invested in coaches. And it was uncomfortable for me because I'm like, I'm going to put my fitness journey in the hands of this person. Like, I'm not sure, right? I have to invest in myself. Like, that's pretty uncomfortable to me. I don't know. Like, I'd rather just try by my own and do it myself. And I'm like, no, that's what got me stuck. Because a lot of you're like, oh, I'm just going to try again with the same method that never worked in the first place. And that was me. I'm like, well, I could try to do it by myself again, but then I'm going to be down the same exact road, stuck at this dead end. So I invested in coaches, and I am so fortunate I did, because I not only I learned how to lose the 30 pounds and I felt amazing, I actually got the tools and I invested in the people and resources that taught me how to lose the weight for good. So I lost the 30 pounds and I'm staying this way, and I will stay this way for the rest of my life because I love the process more than the result. So the mentorship really taught me about losing weight, making it a lifestyle without restrictions, right? Without saying no to your favorite foods or saying no to vacations or social events or having chicken, rice, and broccoli all the time. Like, I actually learned how to lose weight and keep it off for good. And now that's what I freaking do. Like, when I was going throughout college, and I had a lot of free time. You may know my story. It's just like, because in college, it's your first year. Yes, you have to focus on school and your studies, but let's be honest, you have some free time and you could spend it, drinking and partying and video games. But I'm like, I want to be productive and just looking at the past 5 years of my life, fitness really helps me, and I want to help people with fitness. So I started 5 years ago, right? Like started this fitness business. I'm like, I want to just serve. I am down 30 pounds. I feel amazing. I feel incredible. My life is day and night. I want other committed men to feel this. I want other busy men that have a lot of things going on, learn how to fit being healthy into their routine, because I know it's going to help every area of their life. And that's my story. That really is my fitness story. And it's amazing, gentlemen, because that's what adversity does. And if you think back to the beginning of the podcast, I said, right, when I fell and broke my knee, that ball, right, that my like friend shot, it was like actually my friend's little sister. She just like shot and it hit me in the head. And I'm like, that, looking back, like that was my sign. That was my light bulb moment. You know how in the cartoons, they get hit in the head and like, oh, they have an idea, right? That was like my sign, like, hey, this adversity is going to take you to that next level. That was my light bulb moment. And looking back, right, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. One of the best things, that adversity, right? Going through the pain of, not just like the actual physical pain of breaking my kneecap, but also the pain of being 30 pounds heavier, right? And, being sedentary for a year and a half, having way more gratitude now, right? I was able to focus on my mindset. I was able to focus on my health. If I didn't gain the 30 pounds, I probably wouldn't need to focus on my health, and I wouldn't have invested in coaches, which now led me to this path, what I do now, right? So based off of that adversity, I now help hundreds of guys around the world make the same change. It's beautiful how God plays in that way, right? So that's my story, and that's how I got here, and hopefully it kind of inspires you, because I know you went through, you're going through now maybe, or you're going to go through some adversity in the future. That's life. It happens. That's okay, right? Because there is a beautiful lesson in every adversity. Every adversity has its reasons. And if you just have faith and you trust in the lesson, you are going to blossom like a flower. I promise. All right. So I hope that inspired you. And listen, if you are a busy guy, you just literally learned my whole story. You know my whole purpose. You know my whole passion. If you're a busy guy that's struggling with motivation, excess weight, you've been trying to do it by yourself for years, just like I was trying to do, and you're still stuck, send me a message. We'd love to see how I can help, give you some motivation, point you in the right direction anyway. But literally, God put all that stuff in my life to be here serving you. So might as well take advantage. All right. So that is it. Much love. Have the best day of your life, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Boom. That is it. Just close out the podcast. If you're still here, that means you are live. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. And hopefully you got some sort of value, some sort of inspiration from this. I just want to bring you through my adversity and how it could, give you a story to help inspire you with your own adversity. All right. So, and like I said, at the end of the podcast, if you feel like you were kind of in my position of being heavier, trying everything, the keto, all these diets, all these workout plans, nothing is changing, then that means you have to change the method. So if you want some extra help, we'd love to point you in the right direction. Send me a message and we'll go from there. All right. But that is it. Have an amazing Friday, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.